Welcome to another video. So this is gonna be another interesting topic. So by the way, before ako mag-start, para po sa mga bago dito sa ating channel, hello po, my name is Robin. So as you can see on the title of this video, it's about F5 Visa Explained. Paano nga po ba maging permanent resident dito sa South Korea? So okay, bago tayo magsimula, hinga muna tayo ng malalim. So gagawin ko tong video na ito hindi po para magyabang or not to brag but to inspire our Filipino audience na nangangarap din pong maging permanent resident dito sa South Korea. So yes, na-mention ko in the previous video na aalis na po ako ng Korea. But at the same time, nagkaroon ng surprise. Naka-receive po ako ng letter from the immigration office dito sa South Korea na accepted na po and approved na yung aking permanent residency. But in this video, gusto ko lang pong sabihin sa inyo yung mga benefits ng pagkakaroon ng permanent residency. So kung Filipino po kayo na nandito sa South Korea, alam ko yung feeling na parang marirenew pa ba ako or na parang laging may deadline sa buhay mo. Hindi yung birthday, hindi yung anniversary, but yung expiration ng visa natin. 'Di ba nakakainis yung parang every 1 year or every 2 years, meron tayong appointment sa immigration office. Alam ko yung pakiramdam niyo na nakaka-stress siya kasi parang hindi mo alam kung marirenew ka ba or ilang years pa marirenew yung contract mo. In short, your visa is tied up to your job and wala po tayong freedom, wala tayong long-term security and sustainability kapag ganito yung sitwasyon. So, having an F5 visa makes you more independent and it gives you more freedom sa pag-work and makakatulong siya dito kung magpaplano kayo long-term stay sa South Korea. Another quick disclaimer, hindi po ako legal advisor, hindi po ito para magbigay sa inyo ng tips kung paano maging permanent resident dito, but this video will somehow give you some clarity kung ano po ba yung ibig sabihin ng pagkakaroon ng F5 residency, ano po yung mga benefits niya, and para sa akin ba to? First, you have to ask yourself a question if this one is for you. So kung hindi, maybe you can just skip this video. Kasi po, marami sa ating mga Filipino ang gustong mag-apply ng permanent residency but they don't know where to start. And they have no idea kung ano po ba yung type ng residency na applyan nila. So, gusto ko lang pong mag-share ng information para makatulong. Another benefit ng pagkakaroon ng F5 visa is hindi ka na po nakatali sa isang employer. So kagaya ko na isang researcher, kapag hindi na-renew yung contract ko, ibig sabihin, goodbye Korea na, pauuwiin na po ako sa Pilipinas. And because nakatied up po yung aking visa sa aking employer kasi sila yung nag-sponsor ng aking visa. But with the F5 visa, hindi na po kayo nakatali sa inyong employer. You're not tied up to your employer, so you have more freedom na mag-work sa ibang companies, whether it's Korean or international company. Mayroon kayong mas madaming opportunities na makapag-work, mag-change ng job, mag-change ng location, ng residency, just like a local or a South Korean national. So in short, hindi ka nakakaba-kaba or wala nang kaba sa visa renewal kasi permanent residency ka na nga eh. So, pwede ka magstay dito as long as you want. So, ang kagandahan po dito sa F5 visa, pwede rin po kayo magnegosyo dito sa South Korea so you can establish your own business. And dahil nga hindi kayo tied up sa isang employer, pwede kayo magkaroon ng independent na business. Tinatrato na nila ako bilang isang Korean citizen, although I am not a Korean citizen. So, in short, pareho na po kayo ng benefits ng isang Korean local. May limitasyon pa din. So, for example, hindi kayo mabibigyan ng passport, Korean passport, or you cannot vote in the national election. Pwede kayong bumoto but in the local elections lang po. So, another question, why Filipinos want an F5 visa? So, bakit nga po ba yung mga ibang Filipino ay gustong manirahan talaga na dito sa South Korea in the long term? Bakit nga ba? Kagaya ko, nag-aral po ako ng master's, ng PhD, nag-work na rin po ako dito sa South Korea, but nakaka-stress yung visa renewal. So if you are in my shoes, I think you can relate. Kasi marami po sa atin dito ang tied up sa kanilang employer kahit gaano ka naka-stress sa trabaho mo. You just have to work for them kasi wala. Kasi kapag umalis ka, automatic paalisin ka na sa Korea unless makahanap ka ng bagong employer. But that approach is also not sustainable and it's really stressful kasi you have to change all the information, you have to update all your information sa immigration office, like change of your home address, change of your job, change of employer. Any changes in your personal information must be reported to the immigration office, which is quite stressful. Para po sa mga Filipinos na naninirahan dito sa South Korea, ang ultimate goal would be to have this permanent residency or better yung Korean citizenship. Number one, ang reason is stability. So, hindi lahat po ng mga Filipinos na pumupunta dito sa South Korea ay may planong mag-work lang for 1 to 2 years. Yung iba po sa atin, dito na nag-aral, dito na nag-work, dito nakahanap ng partner, nakapag-asawa. And of course, kung meron kang stability at hindi na nakadepende sa work mo or studies mo yung visa mo, mas magkakaroon ka ng peace of mind. So, ito yung mga I would say priceless na benefit na having an F5 visa. So in the next chapter of this video, let me talk about the pathways to F5, the natural flow. So meron tayong tatlong ways para maging permanent resident dito sa South Korea. So number one, yung mga long-term residents. Second would be if you are married to a Korean national. And third would be the point-based system. So let's start first with the long-term residents. Kung nagstay po kayo dito sa South Korea, especially if you are working under several types of visas, especially E7 or E2 or E3 series, possible po na mag-apply kayo dito if you stay here for at least 5 years. So, yung mga realistic questions kung eligible ka ba sa F5 permanent residency is first, nagbabayad ka ba ng tax? Sapat po ba yung income nyo? Nagstay po ba kayo ng at least 5 years? Stable po ba kayo sa work mo? Meron po ba kayong violation? So ito yung mga dapat nyong tanungin sa sarili nyo if you are planning to apply for an F5 permanent residency. So in short, para sa mga long-term residents, you should ask yourself a question kung am I a responsible resident? The second pathway to F5 would be if you are married to a Korean national. Disclaimer lang po, I didn't get my F5 just because I am married to Lighty. Hello Lighty. So, para po sa mga Filipinos na married sa Korean, it's possible kayong mag-apply for an F6 visa first, which is a spouse visa. And bago natin ipaliwanag yung F6 and F5, yung pag-a-apply niya, explain ko lang din yung common misconception na kapag kinasal ka na sa isang Korean national ay automatic na magkakaroon ka ng citizenship. So, that's a very big misconception, especially dito sa South Korea. Unlike sa ibang countries wherein kapag married ka na sa locals nila, pwede kang maging, let's say for example, British citizen, American citizen, Australian, or Canadian. But this, dapat mapatunayan mo na married ka sa isang Korean national, not just on paper, but you are really living together. And sapat yung income mo, meron kang enough ng Korean language ability that you have to pass certain level of TOEIC or KIIP or so in short, meron pong language requirement, income requirement, and proof na kaya mong magstay dito sa South Korea in the long term. Yung third pathway to F5 would be the point-based system. Dito pumapasok yung mga different categories kung paano kayo magiging permanent resident. So, pumapasok dito yung mga factors like education, your salary or income, your age, your number of years you've stayed in South Korea, yung Korean skills. Yes, let's not underestimate the Korean language test kasi it's one of the most common requirements kapag nag-apply po kayo ng permanent residency. In my case, I got an exemption from taking this TOEIC level or KIIP because I received my master's and PhD both in South Korea. So, hindi po ako nag-take ng TOEIC and hindi ako required mag-submit ng TOEIC exam test or results sa immigration officer. So kung professional ka like an engineer, scientist, researcher, ito yung mga usual na target nila, yung point-based system. And meron po tayong different types of F5 visas. So we have F51, F52, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think up to, let me check the immigration website. Well, according to my research, there are at least 27 types of F5 visas. So we have F5-1, those who have been in the Republic of Korea for more than 5 years, hereinafter referred to as the general permanent resident, the F5-2 or the spouse of Korean, F5-3 minor children of Korean, F5-4, and so on and so forth. But mine, the type of visa that I currently have or received from the immigration office is the F5-15, which is a person who is employed by a Korean company after completing a regular course at a graduate school in Korea and earning a PhD, herein referred to as the general doctor. So it's F5-15. And I will just link it somewhere here para sa mga iba't ibang types ng visas. Meron silang iba't ibang requirements, but they have some general requirements na ipopost ko na rin somewhere in the description box para i-check nyo. First, you have to identify kung anong po ba yung F5 visa type na a-applyan nyo. Kasi kapag nagkamali kayo doon, automatic ma-deny na kayo. And sayang yung time because it takes roughly 6 months to 1 year bago ma-approve yung ating permanent residency. So in general, kailangan mong pumasa sa Korean TOEIC Level 3 or KIIP Level 5. So hindi po siya optional for majority of the F5 visa types from F5 1, 2, 3, 4 to 27. So I mentioned earlier that there are different types. So please just check that para mas accurate yung information na matatanggap nyo. So I must say that learning Korean is a must. So if you really want to integrate yourself or become a permanent resident in Korea, you must learn Korean language right now. I mean, this is non-negotiable. Hindi po siya question. Dapat marunong kayo mag-Korean kung gusto nyo maging Korean permanent resident. Now, let's talk about the application process. So, I will be sharing just my personal experience. Meron pong mga iba't ibang proseso, at iba-ibang timeline for different types of visas and different scenarios for different individuals. Kasi yung akin is, as I mentioned, I've got some exemptions in the Korean language test, medical exams, and criminal history record kasi nga matagal na po ako dito sa South Korea for like 10 years, more than 10 years. So, exempted na po ako sa mga ganun. So, let's talk about the timeline. Nag-submit po ako around May 2024. By the way, hindi po kayo pwedeng mag-submit sa kahit anong immigration office lang. So, for example, nakatira kayo sa Incheon, gusto mo mag-submit sa Busan or sa Gyeonggi-do, hindi po pwede kasi hindi po jurisdiction ng Incheon ang ibang state dito sa South Korea. Or beware lang po kung saan kayo mag-a-apply ng inyong permanent residency kasi iba't ibang immigration office ay may kanya-kanyang jurisdiction. So kung kunyari nakatira kayo sa Incheon, dapat mag-apply kayo sa Incheon Immigration Office. Kung nakatira kayo sa Seoul, dapat sa Seoul Immigration Office kayo mag-apply. Ang mag-e-evaluate ng inyong residency application would be the immigration officer in charge ng inyong jurisdiction. So honestly, nakakapagod po yung application process kasi sobrang daming documents, sobrang haba ng waiting line. And in the recent past, like in the last 2 to 3 years, bumulusok yung application for F5. Marami na pong foreigners ang gusto magstay dito sa South Korea in the long term. Kaya, in effect, mas naging busy po lahat ng immigration offices across the nation. Well, may pong mga lucky applicants na nakakatanggap ng permanent residency as fast as 3 weeks, but some can take up to 1 year or more than 1 year. So, depende po yan sa evaluation ng immigration officer. So, marami pong mga papeles and ililink ko na rin po dito sa description box kung ano po ba yung mga papers na sinubmit ko. But generally, ang kailangan mo is yung application form and yung degrees mo or documents related to your income or salary, your tax documents from the National Tax Service or home tax. Tapos marami pa, iba't ibang documents from your employer, from your spouse, if you have any, and what else? Your residency, your current residency permit. Make sure na kapag nag-apply po kayo ng permanent residency, you have enough time in your current visa. Let's say, for example, you're currently on an E7 or E2 or F2. Kunyari mag-expire na siya in 3 months, I guess hindi po siya tatanggapin ng immigration officer kasi they need at least 6 months ng validity ng inyong current visa para makapag-apply for permanent residency kasi as I mentioned, it takes at least 6 months as of 2026. Yung review po ng visa or ng F5 residency permit takes at least 6 months. So, ganun po siya katagal. So, let me share to you some of the most common mistakes kapag nag apply ng permanent residency or ng F5 visa dito sa South Korea. So, marami sa atin yung nag apply ng F5 permanent residency na hindi po sapat yung income. So, as of 2025, ang South Korea's gross national income is roughly 49.95 million Korean won. And that's roughly 36,000 US dollars. So, ganito po yung required income pag nag-apply ng permanent residency. And sometimes they require GNI times 2. Ibig sabihin, minimum income is 49 million or almost roughly 50 million. But sometimes in some different types of F5, they require times 2. So that is 100 million Korean won na income requirement para makapag-apply ng permanent residency. So what is GNI per capita or gross national income in 2025? So this reflects the total income earned by residents domestically and abroad divided by the population. So in Korean won terms, that is about 49.95 million, and preliminary reports later revise it to over 50 million. So ano po bang ibig sabihin ng GNI? So the gross national income is the all income earned by the residents. So it includes the wages, the profits, the rents, investments, the returns domestically and abroad. So mas mataas yung income ng mga tao, mas mataas yung GNI. So usually dito lang naman nagkakatalo kapag nag-apply ka ng F5 kung hindi sapat yung income or kung merong mismatches sa inyong sinubmit ng documents. So yun yung mga common mistakes sa pag-apply ng F5 application. Preparation beats luck kasi kung prepared ka, wala ka na dapat intindihin and mas magbibigay ka ng assurance and self-confidence while waiting. So it's a long waiting game sa pag-apply ng F5 residency. So, sa hinahaba-haba ng discussion natin, ang next question would be, is it worth it? Is it worth it? So, worth it nga po ba ang F5 visa or permanent residency in South Korea? Well, yung sagot nito ay magdedepende sa inyong sitwasyon. But in my case, may plano po ako magstay dito sa South Korea in long term. So, kung Filipino po kayo dito sa South Korea, please let me know your opinion, your comments, or if you also have a permanent residency, ano po ba yung mga pinagdaanan nyo? Please let me know sa comment section. I-share nyo na din po yung mga experiences nyo kung nagkaroon po ba kayo ng similar case sa akin or mas madali po ba or mas mahirap yung pinagdaanan nyo. Who knows, maraming mga Filipinos dyan na a-aspire din mag-apply ng F5 and baka makatulong yung discussion na ito sa inyo. As I mentioned earlier, bilang Filipino, meron tayong iba't ibang rason kung bakit tayo nandito sa South Korea. And iba't iba rin yung pinagdaanan natin bago tayo makapunta dito sa South Korea. And yung pagkakaroon ng permanent residency, isa lang siyang big milestone para sa mga nag-aspire or naghahangad na tumira dito in the long term. Kung ang goal mo is maging permanent resident, yes, it's really possible. But I should advise na i-check nyo yung requirements and your eligibility kung pasok po ba kayo sa banga. And I must say, hindi po siya madali, hindi po siya biro, but it's possible. So, salamat po ulit sa pakikinig and I will see you in my next one. Gusto ko lang din i-share sa inyo ang important letter na na-receive ko from the immigration office. So, ito yung general instructions. And that will be it for this video and sana po ay na-inspire kayo and may natutunan kayo sa video nito. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Malaking tulong na po na mag-subscribe kayo para mas ma-inspire pa akong gumawa ng mga videos katulad nito.